For the Players, the pop culturist PlayStation podcast is fueled by the Man Shake. I lost 30 kilos in 10 months using this meal replacement shake. If you want to support the show and max in my weight loss journey, or to even start your own, click the link in the description below. The Man Shake. Real blokes, real results.
For the Players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And this is For the Players, the pop culturist PlayStation podcast with 40 years of playing PlayStation, 8+ years in that games media combined. I'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to join us in future conversations, please come and check out our socials. Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join us as the conversation happens, you can head over to twitch.tv/thepopcultures, where you can watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation pod. If you are on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you are on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturist or our merchandise store, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. And Max, we did have to say, well, because we weren't here last week.
Yeah.
So apologies to everyone that, normally consumes the show at the beginning of their week. We're terribly sorry. I had some personal shit go down, and that took my time. Yeah. I was in no place, no state to do a show. So I was like, fucking no. And I was like, we'll just do a gangbusters one the following week.
And then a shout out to the people that would normally tune in live with us this week. We had some scheduling issues because I thought we were doing Sunday, and then
we were going to do Sunday,
but you already had plans on Sunday anyway, so it probably wouldn't have worked regardless. Yeah. So here we are at fucking 11:30 p.m. for Saturday night, right before I'm supposed to go into work at midnight, recording a podcast for you people. So apologies for not being live, but enjoy this when you see it.
It was more of a circumstance of like, look. Because for reasons I've got next week off work, so I'm fucking off away from Geelong for a little while for a couple of days, and it's just like, hey, I need to leave on Sunday afternoon. I don't want to then have to edit this fucker and then drive at like middle of the night.
Yeah.
So instead I'll edit middle of the night now and then deal with it later. Anyway, I've clearly set up how my week has been. Max, how has your week been?
Comparatively pretty good. It's been an alright week. I'm at the point where I agreed to do some weekend work for a couple of weeks ago.
Still going?
They're like, hey, it's just going to be running for October. I'm like, cool. A little bit of extra money before Christmas.
It's now February.
And then it's like, hey, can you do one more week? Yeah, I can do one more. Hey, can you do one more week? Yeah, I can do. Hey, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so over it. But apart from that, the week's been pretty good. Had some, we've had some days where it's been pretty miserable. Had some horrendous rainy days, and the kids like, "Let's want to go outside, Dad." No, you can't go outside. It's too wet.
So I just send my kid out. Fuck it.
She's like, I hate you and everything about you. I'm gonna tear this shit up, and just trashes the place. But no, it's been good. It's been a week, but it's been good.
Yeah, no, so as I said, as I've alluded to, my week has been absolutely fucked. I've not been well this week, so that's been a whole experience. Physiologically, psychologically, physically, all the different things it's been very intense this week. So I have not done much apart from just raging panic attacks.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
So you'll get to listen to me for a little while I talk about the games that I've been playing.
Yeah. So with that in mind, in terms of the games that I have been playing, because let's just fucking skip over my nonsense and we'll just go straight to the games I've been playing. I haven't turned my console on at all this week. Actually, no, I lie. So I did turn it on Friday for a couple of different reasons. I was just to install shit and then I fucked off. So what I did, so I went and I actually picked up the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Definitive Edition because I don't know, I was impulsively bought it on Friday morning. I was like, sure, beep, and I spent like 20 minutes in GTA 3. There's a lot of things to consider with this new. So it looks good, but it also looks shit. Like, it's really weird because they've essentially reskinned the old models, right? So it looks of a higher resolution. It's a lot more clearer than I remember, but it's still just jank.
But that clarity has made you realize that it fucking looked terrible to begin with.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of jank here that I just wasn't really. And then, as I'm sure everyone's seen on Twitter,
charge you $100 for it.
Yeah, it was fucked. So if they show you, I'm sure you've seen on Twitter, like the rain is like, you cannot see. It's like there's a texture of rain they just paint on the screen. So it's not actually raining in the world. It's horrendous. It's like the opening cutscene for GTA 3 is, it's just, it's not visible. You can't see it because of the fucking rain. What the fuck? It's not very good. But like, I don't know, it still plays this good. It plays fine. It's just GTA. I haven't jumped into San Andreas, haven't jumped into Vice City yet. I was like, well, I want to go to 3 because 3 is obviously the oldest. Let's see how it goes. Apparently San Andreas is a hot fucking mess. And yeah, that's not very good. Additionally, I did also pick up, in the same purchase, the Tiny Tina Wonderland, whatever the fuck. Not the one that's coming out next year.
Oh, yeah, so it was the DLC for Borderlands 2 Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep.
That's correct. So it is now a one-shot. It's called a one-shot adventure, where you can buy it separately.
Which is brilliant, because they're really doubling down on those D&D thematics.
So it's a one-shot story. It's $15. I grabbed it. I'm like, this sounds fucking mad.
I believe it's free on Epic Games Store.
Yeah, it is, but no fucking Epic Games.
It's just a PSA for the people.
Yeah, people that want to hate. It's free on Epic Games, I guess.
For the players.
Yeah, oh, that's fine.
Hey.
So I haven't jumped into that yet. And it's
brilliant.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Your praise for it, plus the whole skinned in D&D shit seemed kind of fun. But
I'm actually super keen for this new.
What's multi in it?
Yeah, super keen for this new Borderlands.
And then the other thing that I did install this week, and I did spend a little bit of time with, is the Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Anniversary Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so fucking many.
The 30th version of Skyrim.
Yeah, so 10 years ago this week, Skyrim was released, and to celebrate, they've created their next-gen version of it. It comes on PS5, it's reskinned, it's pretty, and if you buy the Fancy Pants edition, it does come with some creative content and as well as some other modes.
I believe it comes with all the DLC that it previously had, so Dawn...
I believe that's standard though, isn't it?
But that's part of the pack, and I believe it came with like
500 creation, whatever's survival mode or something.
It's got
and
like
something else.
Yeah, it has like the mod pack support stuff.
Yeah.
All that
I don't know. So I booted that up. I had to transfer my old save across. I haven't played since 2016. I was like, oh, damn. Booted that up. It looks pretty fucking great, actually. Yeah. Like, it looks like how I ran it on my PC. My ICPC is not that crash hot either. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, it looks like just a really good PC, like a really good PC version. Not a very, like... Texture is increased, smoothness is increased. It's got a consistent frame rate for one. Hasn't had that until now. Like, as I'm playing it just feels smoother and it just sharper and better. Like, from the very small amount of time I've spent with it, I'm like, this is what console Skyrim should have been. At least on PlayStation. Because everyone knows the history of Skyrim. Like, it was shit house on PS3. Kind of shitty on PS4 as well. This feels really good so far. I'm sure there's ways to break it and way to fuck with it. But like as of right now, it's been dope. I haven't played anything else. I really should finish House of Ashes, but I haven't. All different things. Still haven't finished Back for Blood. still haven't finished Far Cry 6. It was a really bad time to have a crisis. What have you been playing then, Max? Well, I know that actually there's one thing I'm going to get you to fucking talk about, but there's something else.
We'll finish it. We'll finish it last. Okay. So, full disclosure, there is a game that came out this week that I've been waiting for quite some time. And I've been playing Forza Horizon 5. Fuck, that game is good.
Yeah.
I have to throw it. It really is nice.
But with that in mind, do you think this is so... Spill your love for it, but
I 100%...
Is GT7 got a contender?
I literally bought my Xbox purely to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I was keen on this game. I spent $750 buying a console purely to play this game. And the reason why I love Forza Horizon 5 so much compared to that of Forza Motorsport or Gran Turismo is it is not a complete sim racing game. It is semi-sim.
Mm-hmm.
It has just enough arcade fun and silliness in it that it tickles my fancy. And the fact it looks fucking stunning.
Yeah, I imagine.
And I have don't get me wrong, I have a feeling that GT7 will also look fucking stunning too, because car games just look real good.
Yeah,
all the time.
They did a pretty good job.
I played about an hour, but I enjoyed my time. It was fun. It was great. I've also been playing a farming game. It's called Diablo 2.
Oh.
Where all I do now is farm for endgame loot. I play the game way too much. I am considering uninstalling it so I actually get shit done. But the big game this week that I got to play, and a big thanks to Bandai Namco Australia, I was lucky enough to get to play the Elden Ring closed network test.
It almost sounds like a swear, and I love it.
It basically turns into a swear every time I try and type the damn thing on my phone because autocorrect knows me way too well.
So knowing going in this, you are a Soulsborne FromSoft fucking dork. You love this shit.
We have a group chat with a few other people that do similar stuff to what we do, and I'm like, hey guys, can I have a beta as my game of the year? To which they all very quickly said no, which I think is bullshit. But Elden Ring is I've played it for I played it for the 3 hours that it was available last night. I missed today's 3 hour segment, and I'm probably not going to get to play tomorrow's either because it's at fucking 6 a.m. The timing was pretty garbage in some of these time frames. So for context, last night it was 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Perfect timing for me. The next one was 2 p.m. till 5 p.m. today. Very inconvenient time for someone who has a kid that can't just be like, I'm going to peace out for 3 hours to play this video game. I'll be back. 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then there's another one Sunday night. And then the last one's on Monday. So I won't have a chance to do Sunday night on Monday. So in the 3 hours that I played, they do something similar to every Dark Souls games that they've done. They kind of throw you into a tutorial area that can be completely skipped if you do not want to do it. I skipped it unintentionally. I didn't realize I'd missed the turnoff because it wants you to jump into a big dark pit that looks like death. So I kind of just walked off and...
Well, those games condition you to not jump in a giant fucking hole.
Went up the elevator, and then as you walk out, you literally get that vista of this grassland up in the corner. There's this massive fuck off castle, and you get that big golden tree that's just there, and you're kind of like, well, what do I do now? You walk forward and you activate the what is essentially their version of the fire shrines. I can't think of the term, and it's like, you've activated it, the same the thing that we've all known when we do it on and Dark Souls and Demon Souls, bonfire lit, but it's whatever the thing is. Again, can't think of it. Same text, same border, same background image, and I'm like, oh, this is Dark Souls. I'm loving this. And off I mosey because it's now an open world game. The first enemy I encounter is this big fuck off golden knight on a horse. I'm like, oh, cool. It's the first enemy. Really weird that he's so big. Boss fight. Oh, fuck. He just comes in and fucking shit stomps me because he's on a horse. He like tramples me and I fucking die. I'm like, alright, cool. I'm gonna give this one more try, and if it doesn't work for me, I'll just fuck off. He instantly shut on me again. And I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna go explore. I'm gonna live in this world for a little bit because a few people were There had been reviews out in the wild of people who'd been playing it, and a lot of some of the people were like, it is a big world, but it seems empty. Personally, I did not find that at all. There was always enemies around. There was things to do, dungeons to explore, little cave entrances. They've done this wonderful thing of they've reintroduced what is essentially the Estus flask from Dark Souls, where it's this refillable flask of health potion. And at the start of the game in Elden Ring, you get 2 uses for health, 2 uses for your mana if you're a magic user. When you clear out a group of enemies in an area, they reward you by refilling that flask.
Oh shit!
So you'll get extra charges by going and hunting down the enemies. So they reward you for going and looking for things and killing the enemies in the world.
I like that.
It's that risk reward of, I could die or take damage by doing this, but at least I know that if I complete it, not only am I going to get the echoes or the runes, I think they are, which are the new souls currency, I'm going to be able to get my health back because they reward me for doing this. After you've activated 3 of the shrines, you get access to the level up functionality and you get access to your horse, which makes traversal a lot easier. Your horse can double jump, sprint, dodge. It doesn't have a dodge roll. It just has like a quick burst of speed to jump you out of the way, essentially.
I wish you did a tactical roll though.
That would be cool. You cannot cheese fall damage with the horse's double jump.
Okay.
So falling damage has always been a big thing in Dark Souls games. You cannot jump with your horse off a cliff and then double jump just before you land to soften the blow. It's like, no, you jumped from up there, we're killing you. That's just how it is. Which is fair. I spent about 20 minutes trying to glitch out of the hard wall that's there. So there's a section of the map that you get to play in. When you get too close to the area where you can't go, it basically throws up this big grey wall. I spent a lot of time trying to break through it to see if I could explore a little bit more. I couldn't. That's fine. And I put in our chat earlier today just 3 sentences, which I can't think of them, but basically it ended with, there's this area, it's like a swampland, and there's this big giant crab there, lone crab. I'm like, I can take this guy. He looks menacing, but I can take him. Quickly kill him because I'm standing back shooting him with magic. And I'm like, he's sparkling. He's got an item for me to pick up. I run in there, and then all of a sudden, 6 giant crabs just come out of the ground and just fucking smack me, and I'm dead. That sucked. But what they've done is, because it's now an open world game, you have that compass icon in the top of your screen, like most open world games, and there's a little icon that points you in the direction of your dead body, so you know where to go.
Sweet.
Which is awesome. Fast travel is now a thing. You can fast travel to any shrine that you have activated whenever you want to, from wherever you are. You just open the map and you're like, I want to be over there, and it takes you there.
No hindrances?
Took about 6 seconds of load time. I don't think you can do it mid-combat. I never tried to do it in combat, but it's just...
There's no cost, as I'm saying.
No cost. It just, it throws you over there.
Interesting.
Which is awesome, because being an open world game, there's footage out there of them showing off the world map, and it does look big. Like, there is a reason they give you a horse that can run real fast to get around this map. It's very big. There's lots to explore. When I first started up, it was literally right on the 10 p.m. mark.
Mm-hmm.
I got kicked out about 3 times in a row due to server instability. I'm like, that's
makes
fair.
sense. It's going to get hammered.
It literally just turned on. I'm not surprised if everyone's trying to log in at once. I had a few frame rate drops in some of the more densely populated areas. I don't know whether that was because of the game chugging or if it was a connection issue. This is a closed network test, so they kind of give you all the items that you need to summon allies. Not once could I find a summon sign to summon anyone.
Okay.
I don't know if that's because I kind of... I managed to get to the end, like the bigger boss in the demo area. I don't know if no one went there or no one was up to it within the first hour, which is when I got there. I would imagine a lot of people kind of just wanted to explore and live in that world because it looks gorgeous. Like, the draw distances are fantastic. The character models are great. The way combat moves, it's more Dark Souls than Bloodborne or Sekiro. It's that slow-paced, methodical combat, as opposed to that getting quick, jump out type situation that Bloodborne and Sekiro had, having not having shields or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You get a choice of 5 characters when you boot up the game, each kind of with predetermined paths. There's warriors, knights, and basically all that changes is similar to that when you start Bloodborne or Demon Souls or any of those games. It's just your starting equipment's different and your stat allocation's slightly different. You can generally play however you want to play. They've reintroduced weapon arts that were in Dark Souls 3, so each weapon has their own essentially special attack that will do something, but those can be changed by picking up, I think they're weapon rights that can be equipped at any resting point. So I managed to get, the ability was called Gravitas, and basically I had a 2-handed sword that I could plunge into the ground. A big purple area would appear around me, encircling me, and it would rip everything to the ground.
Oh,
so flying enemies just dropped out of the sky,
just get
and then
wrecked.
I just hammered them. Brilliant. That obviously those special abilities do cost mana points, or like MP, which is fine. There has to be some form of balance for that. But yeah, it's very much a Dark Souls game. It just looks fantastic, and it's now not as linear as what those games used to be.
Okay.
So when you activate a shrine, there are essentially golden paths that will take you to another shrine, and you kind of just pick one and you go for it. But you don't have to do that. You can go and explore and find them on your own. It'll be very much one of those things where you see where it takes you, and there will be, everyone's experience of this game will be completely different because there's no predetermined path. Like, to use Dark Souls 1, for instance, you have that hub of the Firelink Shrine, and everything's kind of connected from that area. Whereas this is, here you are, go. And that's why you can place markers on your map and be like, this is where I found these crafting materials. This is where I found these types of monsters. You can put a beacon down where this big blue light will shine on your screen showing this is where you wanted to go. This is where you've marked on the map. And with all the games that are coming out in February, and now having been able to be lucky enough to get to play this game early, this is the only game I want to play in February. And there's so many games that I originally wanted to play in February. None of them are getting played except for this game. So thankfully it comes out at the end of the month. But I have a feeling that you're going to be playing Horizon because I'm going to be playing Elden Ring for so long.
So do you feel that all these new changes, these new implementations that essentially are screwing with what Dark Souls is or was, do you believe that this is a correct growth path for FromSoft?
I think it fits the type of game that they're making this time.
Okay.
Like, don't get me wrong, I think the original Dark Souls would have worked fine in this style as an open world. It's just because we're trained for these games to be slightly linear, it gives us direction, and because in the past, the story of From Software games are so, the lore of those titles are so deeply hidden within the game itself that they give you, I feel that they gave you a more linear path because they're not throwing story at you, giving you reasons to go here. Whereas this seems to be giving you a story and just letting you explore that story.
Interesting. Well, you'd hope so, with having like old George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
Like you'd like to hope that there's some.
And
story
I think
here.
they've made they've given you the tools to enjoy. Not enjoy, but they've given you the tools to make this game work as an open world title.
Awesome. I'm glad you had a real good time with it because I was wanting to just let you go and just to see.
Yeah, I had so much fun with it. The only thing I ended up going back and doing the tutorial area because now that it's an open world game, there is a button to jump. It's not tied to the sprint button anymore because you used to have to sprint, and as you were sprinting, you tap the sprint button again and you would like short hop. You just push X to jump like in every other game now. Which screwed me because X used to be interact with everything. It's now triangle. That screwed with me a little bit. So, in original Dark Souls and all that, triangle used to be hold your weapon in 2 hands, which makes your weapon stronger. Like, how the fuck do I dual wield my spear? I'm just like poking people with it. It's triangle and the 2 bumpers at the same time, which threw me out.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, which would have been fine if I did the tutorial area. But I missed it because I just didn't see it. It looked like death. Because it's in the same principle of like all their previous games, there's those blood spots of this is how this person died, and the little messages, and there's like a ton of messages around the edge of this big black pit of what I thought was death, and it turns out it was everyone saying this is the tutorial area. You should totally jump down. Not
your assumption was everyone died in this hole.
Not the old trolls of there's treasure ahead, jump down, man, and you just die.
Yeah,
because like
people are butts.
But yeah, it was a shame that I didn't get to try any of the actual co-op multiplayer. I killed 2 of the bosses. I think they were both mini bosses. I tried to fight some big fuck off dragon that just wasn't having any of it. He constantly killed me. Didn't even come close. And I almost killed the big end boss just before coming here.
Or what you believe is the big end
boss. What I believe to be the big end boss. Yeah, shoot. That's correct. And yeah, he hit some bullshit. I got Dark Souls. I didn't realize that there was no ledge to the bridge, and I just yeeted myself off it. Oof. I probably would have won too because I was like full health. I just yeeted myself off the map.
Well, there you go. Well, big thank you to the team over at Bandai Namco Australia for providing Max the access to the almost swear word network test of Elden Ring. Yeah. I feel like you've had a moment.
Oh, dude, I've only played 3 hours, and I'm super sold. If you're a fan of that Soulsborne genre, just making the world bigger is not a bad thing.
Nice. Giving
me more reasons to explore is not a bad thing. It's definitely not as empty as what some people are making it out to be.
Well, there you go. Anyway, well, that's all that we've been playing. So this is where before we jump into the main meat of the show, we have a section we call our Get Less Fat Update. For those that don't know, I myself started a weight loss journey back in 2020, where I used a meal replacement shake called the Man Shake. It's a company that I'm also an ambassador for. Max started his journey this week. I did
not start this week.
Not this week. Start this year.
This week has been a terrible week.
This year. So what we do is we have this section each and every week to keep us accountable. Max, as you spoilers, is it not good?
No, it's been a pretty crappy week. I mean, the double chicken and waffles this afternoon probably didn't help.
Oh, this looks so good.
Yeah, no, like it's fine. I'm kind of just sitting where I'm sitting, and that's purely because I'm not having the shakes as often as I should be, and that's just me doing the whole. I just don't feel like a liquid meal today. I'm gonna have this, or I'm cooking my kid something, and I'm like, damn, that smells good. I'm just gonna have a little bit of this instead of a shake, and I just my own what's the word I'm looking for? I've lost it. Basically, I'm just not doing what I need to do.
Your willpower has been altered.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Not really, but not really nice. But my wife's doing well. She just finished her bag, so I need to restock.
Oh, fantastic!
I need to restock for at least one of us is doing.
Shout out to her.
But yeah.
So I myself. So turns out making your heart freak out for a week. Really good cardio. And just a bunch. I wouldn't recommend it anyone, but hard stress does wonders for a weight loss journey.
Oh, yeah.
This week, I lost like 3 kilos. So I'm now weighing in at 103.4 kilos. Woo, I guess. It's such a conflict. It's like, yeah, hey, I would never do this week again in my life.
Yeah.
But if I can keep my weight steady now, I might be able to push out to that 100. Because like that brings me to just under 39. So, which is awesome because I've literally almost because I started my journey at 142 and I'm 103. Like I'm right on that like almost at the and then even close to the 100 as well, which will be absolutely amazing. Because 40 kilos was kind of my goal. But if I could push a little bit further, that'd be awesome. So, saying that though, I did kind of, to end my week, I was like, I'm dying and I need to do something to make me feel good. And then I defaulted back to eating make me feel good. So I had Dirty Bird yesterday and I may have had Hungry Jacks today.
Oh, mate, you could have at least done the noble thing and celebrated McAfee Day with a fucking Big Mac.
Nah, not happening.
HJ.
Not happening. Nah, it has to be Hungry Jacks. But yeah, so I'm impressed with that. The shakes alone do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Don't get all fucking stressed out. Don't do it. It's not good.
It's not worth.
But if you want to support Max and I on our weight loss journey or maybe even start your own, head to the link in the description. It's bit.ly/FTP manshake. You don't have to buy anything, man. Just click in the link. Shows us some love and it goes from there. Max, we now have essentially 2 weeks of news to catch up on. Yeah. Thankfully, not holding down.
No. So, just like you, Ryan, the PlayStation 5 recently celebrated its birthday.
Oh yeah, I had my birthday last week. Happy birthday to me.
Watch me segue that shit.
Well done. I completely forgot about that.
Big boss, Jim Ryan. Oh my, look at how terribly I've written in this document. Fucking hell. Big boss Jim Ryan took to the PlayStation blog earlier this week to give the PlayStation 5 its birthday shout out. Quote, "Happy birthday, PS5. A year seems to have flown by rather quickly since the first day that gamers were able to get their hands on PS5s. And I'm deeply honored and humbled to celebrate this amazing first year with all of you." He mentions, quote, "Incredible games such as Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Returnal, and Deathloop launched. Sony Interactive Entertainment acquired the talented development studios Bluepoint Games, Firesprite, Housemarque, and Nixes. We revealed our next-generation VR systems for the PlayStation 5. A busy year indeed, and we are just getting started with the PlayStation 5. The imaginative game creators and publishing partners we work with have launched more than 360 titles on the PlayStation 5. Additionally, there are currently more than 25 games. This is all what he said. There are currently more than 25 games in development for PlayStation 5 at PlayStation Studios. And most importantly, the passionate support we've seen from you, our players, makes this past year truly special for us. PS5 gamers have collectively played more than 4.6 billion hours of gameplay on PS5s and broadcast more than 26 million hours of content. Here is a look at the top 10 PS5 games played during PlayStation 5's first year, based on their gameplay hours. Number 1, Fortnite. Number 2, Call of Duty Cold War. Number 3, FIFA 21. Number 4, NBA 2K21. Number 5, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Number 6, Destiny 2. Number 7, MLB The Show 21. Number 8, Miles Morales. Number 9, and the only PlayStation 5 exclusive on this list, Demon's Souls. And lastly, NBA 2K22. Of the top 10 most played PlayStation 5 games, only one of them was a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and it was a remake of an old game.
Well, Miles Morales was, but wasn't.
It was on both.
Not at launch, was it? It is now.
I think it was on at launch, wasn't it?
Either way, it is now. So your point still stands.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
The fuck? So did the count like 3?
It's been a year, and I think, unless I'm wrong, not counting Astro. The Astro's Playroom.
Yep.
Three titles that were PlayStation 5 exclusive. Demon's Souls, Returnal,
Deathloop. That's 4.
Sorry, 4. Deathloop and
Ratchet
and Clank.
Yeah. So yeah, Deathloop's the only.
Sorry, I had 3 in my mind because
3 from PlayStation,
there was 3 from PlayStation,
and the 4th being the second party with Arcane.
Yeah.
So
don't get me wrong, I get that pandemic delays, console shortages and all that and obviously, they can't just cut off their 100 million user base of PlayStation 4 straight away.
But they should have.
But 3, 4 exclusive seems in a first year console launch seems.
I think that's the asterisk there. The asterisk of it being a first year of the console, because every other year for the last handful of years, 3's been the number. You get 3 exclusives in a year, so that's not too bad. But like in a launch year, that's where it seems a bit iffy. But yeah, it is interesting that like, yeah, your point of like all the big games that the most games played on the PS5, a lot of them, aren't PlayStation games except for MLB The Show, Miles Morales, Demon's Souls, so 3 out of the 10. The rest are all just the general big fuck off games, which does check out.
Yeah.
But, it's also kind of interesting because a lot of them are on PS4 as well. But that's only if you're able to get one, Max.
Yeah.
And I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but
I
feel it's relevant because of like...
Do you like my title?
Yeah. I love it because it's all like, hey, look at all this time that all these games that people have played on their PS5s. And then you turn around, everyone's like, yeah, but I still haven't got one yet. So as Max asks, dude, where's my PS5? Sony is selling a lot of PlayStation 5 consoles, but it's struggling to still meet demand. Those of you who are trying to get your hands on the console will know that the PS5 stock is sporadic and in short supply. And it sounds like the situation will not be resolved anytime soon. In fact, Bloomberg reports that the company has had to reduce its manufacturing target from 16 million, Max, to 15 million. It's not a massive drop, but still a lot, by the end of March. It means that the platform holder may struggle to achieve its aim of 14.8 million units sold to consumers during the same time period. PS5 has, up until now, outpaced the PS4 sales, but it's beginning to fall behind. This is all a consequence of the ongoing global pandemic, of course, which has resulted in a shortfall of key components like semiconductors. Consequently, PlayStation is not the only organization affected. Nintendo recently cut its full-year forecast for the Nintendo Switch by 1.5 million units as well. All of this could have a knock-on effect on software sales, and with no obvious resolution in sight, there are likely going to be There are likely going to be some big decisions for executives like old Jimbo to make.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to make money on software if they can't sell the hardware to play the software. Like that just makes sense. That's a no-brainer.
I do wonder...
Like we spoke a couple of weeks ago about Sony investing in a manufacturing to get this on the road. But the issue is that these semiconductors are not just going in PlayStations. They're going in a lot of things, and a lot of places are suffering from this shortage. So, it sucks.
We'll get there. Like, it will take a while, but it will eventually catch back up. As the world starts returning to COVID normal, or becoming COVID normal, I should say. We'll have to wait and see. But it is fascinating because like both you and I got day oneers. So actually, let's take a moment to look at this. How has your year been with your PS5, Max?
Yeah, so I had this conversation with my wife and one of my friends.
Interesting conversation there with your wife.
Noodle.
That's cool.
And we were talking about, it's a year old, and the only problem I've had with my PlayStation is one of my DualSense controllers motors broke.
Yeah.
That's it. One controller fucked up. Fucked up after about 9 months. Yours, of course, blew up within the first week. That was fun. So overall, I've had a pretty good experience. Now, granted, I'm playing a lot of games that are available on a PlayStation 4, but if I wasn't doing what I do here, I don't think I would have rushed out and got one.
Yeah, look,
I don't think having, like, obviously I played Ratchet and Clank. I enjoyed that game. Demon's Souls would have been a struggle to not get to play until I got one. But there hasn't been anything that's like, hey, you have to buy this console right now because this is the only way to experience this title.
I would agree. Aside from having my day one PS5 be a bunch of shit and the thermos are all rooted and it just overheated, that part sucked. However, it's been interesting. Like, I wouldn't even think I had a PS5 up this whole time. Like, aside from those handful of exclusives, which were great, like Deathloop, also kind of not a game for me. I've tried to go back, not having much luck. Demon Souls, not a game for me either. Ratchet and Clank, love that shit. That shit was great. Returnal, not a game for me. So in terms of my PS5 experience, like the games that were released, the games that are sort of involved, just weren't Ryan games. So I'm certainly not regretting my decision. I still think I made the right call, similar to yourself, because of the nature of what we do, it's important to do that. And I do feel that turning point is coming. We are heading into that time where it will be more important to have a PS5.
I mean, they've pretty much stated that after, I believe it's it's God of War that's going to be the last one to launch out of because it's God of War, Horizon, and GT were the last ones that were going to be
so. Yeah, that checks out.
Cross-generational, and obviously we've got dates for 2 of those 3. So once the boy joins the party, I'm assuming that's when it may be necessary to try and find one. Yeah,
and that's very likely as we look into the future of that and what the future of PS5 will be. But yeah, it is like I would still argue even right now, as similar to yourself, that like get one if you can. Don't buy a scalped one. No need to rush. Your PS4 will do the trick for now. Yeah. But yeah, if you can put a pre-order down, if you're happy to spend the money, sick. I understand that whole FOMO thing. Like the reason we jumped on it so hard is
especially if you're still like essentially playing on a 1080p screen.
Yeah, anyway, and if you're playing like Destiny and Call of Duty and shit, ain't gonna matter.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Call of Duty this week too.
Oh, the Vanguard. You picked up Vanguard, didn't you?
I played like an hour and a half. Yeah, zombies.
Yeah, we've had a very scattered week of games.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you think. How if you've had a PS5, how has your year been? Has your $750 been worth it? Has mine? I'm gonna still say yeah, but
yeah, I'm also still gonna say yeah. But let's talk Hackerman.
What?
A hacking group going by the name of Fail Overflow has earlier this week claimed it has made a huge step forward in breaking open PlayStation 5 security. A Twitter post covered by Eurogamer states the collective has gained access to internal PlayStation 5 root keys, which are used to decrypt the console's firmware. It reads, quote, "We got all symmetric PS5 root keys. They can all be obtained from software, including per console root key, if you look hard enough. If the group is one day successful, the system may be completely jailbroken. As Eurogamer notes, Fail Overflow has in the past cracked the PlayStation 3 wide open, hacked the PS4, and gotten custom firmware to run on the Nintendo Switch. Unfortunately for Sony, it sounds like this group knows what they're doing. Quote, another one bites the dust, the hacking group has said. Of course, Sony will likely counteract this with a new PlayStation 5 firmware update. While the collectives work to find these root keys doesn't mean the PlayStation 5 is compromised just yet. The discovery is said to be one of the first steps in jailbreaking a console.
These peeps sound like they know what they're doing.
Yeah. It's not for me.
Not for me. I don't jailbreak my shit. But actually, I lie. Like my old iPhone, I jailbroke for a while. And then I
did my iPod Touch, but that was...
Yeah, I've not done a
anything
console.
That doesn't need like an active connection to the internet that checks... Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Not like it's not for me. I understand
Nintendo stuff.
Yeah. Because they'll just straight lock your shit.
Oh yeah, Nintendo must mess around with that nonsense.
I have no desire to do it. Shout out to them for doing it, I guess. It's also kind of shitty, but I understand like people always do it. I don't know, it's interesting.
Do you think it's interesting, like a lot of companies like say Google, for instance, they encourage it because then they're like, well, this is how they did it. This is the flaw in our system. This is how we fix it. They get a hey, you well done. You cracked it. Here's a bunch of dosh. Now we can fix that problem.
Yeah.
I wonder if now that this has happened, Sony can be like, well, this is the situation. This is how they've done it. This is how we can fix it and prevent stuff like that from happening in the future.
Potentially. But then again, there's the things like the PSP, which was just so fucking hackable. There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, well, look at the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
They could play just burnt games just straight out of the box. Look at Sega now. They don't make hardware no more.
No, I wonder why.
We're already up to quick bits. That's all good.
Oh, well, it's been a quiet week, man, and
it's been a very quiet week.
Couple different things.
Did you have the other?
I can reopen it in case there's anything that we missed.
Have a quick quiz at last week's doc. Because there were a few things.
I did bring a couple of things over into the quick bits from last week.
Did you?
I believe I did. But let's have a look. So 7th of November. Let's have a squiz.
We'll dive a little bit deeper into the last week. Sony took to Twitter, quote, "Shout out to our friends at Devolver Digital on their public offering today. We're honored to be an investor. Keep shining a light on those great indie games." Basically, what happened was Devolver Digital went public. They now trade on the stock exchange. Sony bought a bunch of stock and now basically made a minority investment in the company. So that's great.
So it's currently voted $1 billion.
Yeah,
that's huge. Shout out to
So
Devolver.
Sony have a 5% stake.
Damn, that's a big throw in.
Yeah,
That's rad.
Yeah, so that's awesome. I believe the copyright for the PlayStation Vita, like the name, has expired. They don't use it. So they can now use people can now use the term Vita. It's not locked to the PlayStation. Marvel's Midnight Suns has been delayed until March 2022
because they need more in that window.
Yep. Blizzard also came out and announced that Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 will not be releasing anytime soon, but they also announced that Overwatch 2 will be used for the Overwatch League.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get to see it. We just won't get to play it.
Interesting.
Which is an interesting call. But other quick bits for this week: Far Cry 6 Vast Insanity DLC comes out next week.
Yeah, it looks exciting.
Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 HD have been removed from the PlayStation Store temporarily due to historical footage in the game.
Oh.
Apparently they don't have the rights to that historical footage anymore.
Interesting.
So they've been ripped. Rainbow Six Extraction will be a $40 game coming out January 20th next year.
And comes with a body pass.
Yes, friends can play for free.
Sweet. You play it? Oh, we'll probably play
I
it for
honestly
sure.
have no idea what it is.
It's Siege, but PvP. Sorry, PvE.
Oh, I'm like, Siege is PvP.
No, PvE.
Ah, yeah, cool. That sounds good.
But here are the top 10 best-selling games on your PS4 for the week ending the 7th of November. Number 10, Sims 4.
Which is on sale at the moment.
Makes sense. Number 9, UFC 4, which always gets in there.
Always also on sale this week.
Number 8, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time.
Also on sale this week.
It's number 7, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Apparently really good.
Yeah.
Number 6, Riders Republic. Doing better than I thought it was going to. Number 5, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Surprisingly also on sale this week.
That makes sense. Number 4, NBA 2K22. Mm-hmm. Number 3, Far Cry 6. Number 2, EA Sports FIFA 22. And number 1, Call of Duty Vanguard.
Well, they got into trouble this week too.
Yeah.
They had to hotfix some stuff because there was depictions of the Quran in their zombies map.
Yes, I heard about that.
Which is very disrespectful, and they patched it out. They fixed it. Which is good. I mean, it shouldn't have happened in the first place, but...
Yeah, it's weird, because like, what were they doing? They looked at, like, they just like, let's make the how do they even find it? Like, hey, this paper, that's the Quran.
Like, you can literally, like, scope into it, read it. It's not interactable, but if, like, you shoot that area, like, the paper gets destroyed, and it's very not good.
Yeah, that is not very good.
Yeah, so that's been fixed, which is great.
Nice.
Upcoming titles this week.
So some of these have already come out already?
Yeah, so some of these are from last week that I've carried over. Obviously, Jurassic World Evolution 2 coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. That released on November 9th. That
looks dope. So that's obviously all pretty, and they've got like ocean dinos and airborne dinos, and friend of the show, Dylan, and fellow PopC founder. He has been smashing the living piss out of Jurassic World Evolution during this lockdown, and he's very, very excited.
Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, PS5, PS4.
Digital only.
Yeah, digital only. This moron went into an EB Games store to buy a physical edition, and then the guy's like, yeah, it doesn't come out till next month. And then, I should have said this at the start of the show, while I was in there, my child picked her first Pokemon, picked a Charmander, told my wife we can keep her.
Nice. Good call. I think James picked Squirtle.
That he chose poorly. Next up, Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 coming to PlayStation 5 November 16th, and The Last Stand Aftermath PS4, PS5 November 16th.
There you go.
Quiet week.
Well, no, and it's also a very quiet week in general. It's a short show today. Not a whole lot went down. It was just.
I'm looking at the clock, and it's for those playing at home. It's midnight, and I got here at like 9:30.
Yeah, we had a big old catch up.
It has been it's been a night.
It has been. But there you go. Well, big thank you to everyone for joining us this week for the show. Once again, I do apologize for there being no show last week. Hope you all forgive me because it's 100% on me. But we'll be hopefully back in the future, I hope. Wait and see, I guess.
How ominous.
Ominous. That's foreboding. But anyway, thank you so much for taking the time, and we appreciate it as always.
Well, everyone, after that heavy foreshadowing, this PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to join in future conversations with us, come and check out our socials. Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those links can be found in the description below. If
you want to join us as the conversation, you can head over to twitch.tv/thepopcultures, where you can normally watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation pod. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopcultures, as well as our merchandise store, popcultures.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And that was For the Players. Man, I got AEW's Full Gear tomorrow, and Hangman Adam Page is going to come and win the title. Oh, and I'm going to ugly cry. It'll be me and Craig in my lounge, and I'm going to like Kim Kardashian. It's going to be, I wish you guys would all be there. It's something crazy. I'm going to be a hot mess.
It sounds like you're not going to be a hot mess. It sounds like you're going to be a fucking ugly mess or whatever.